Hi, I'm Dr. Julie Pham, here to help you practice curiosity to elevate your work and life. Today, I'm going to share with you 10 effective presentation tips for TEDx success. I just got to deliver my first TEDx talk on curiosity as a practice. Over 10 weeks, I wrote about 30 different versions and practiced with over 70 people. I'm going to share my tips in 3 different categories. The first is getting feedback, the second is content development, and the third is delivery. So let's go to the first category, getting feedback. Number 1, know what kind of feedback you want. Do you want general feedback, or do you want feedback on the content or on the delivery? That way you can know what to ask for. For example, if you're pretty early on in writing the talk, you can say, hey, just give me feedback on my content, not on my delivery. Once you lock in the speech and you think, I'm not going to change this talk anymore, you can say, I just want feedback on my delivery. Tip number 2, practice as much as possible. Practice does make you feel more comfortable. A lot of people watch TEDx talks and yet they know that they'll never give one, and they feel quite honored when you ask them to listen to you practice. Sometimes I'd be chatting with a friend on a phone and I'd say, hey, can I just run this by you? Number 3, organize rehearsal sessions. Now, this might be in person or virtually. I did 4 virtual rehearsal sessions and I gave people feedback surveys so that I could learn what they were thinking. It was a great way to get a lot of feedback at once, and people also felt quite involved in the process. The second category is content development. Tip number 4 is stick to one message. I know you've got lots of ideas, and yet in this talk, you should only share one idea, and know that you'll get to share other ideas in other places. Number 5 is try to come up with a visual model. It can be difficult for people to hear or understand an abstract message in 10 or 15 minutes. So come up with a visual model. I came up with the model of a gap, the difference between what we expect to get and what we actually get. And then my slides illustrated my points. Tip number 6 is to cite your own evidence. Now, you might be tempted to try to stuff your talk with third-party research, and yet if you have your own evidence, including your own experience, defer to that first. Tip number 7 is say your idea in your own words. I really advise you not to quote someone else unless they have so perfectly and eloquently expressed what you would like to say. Otherwise, feel confident in your own words. This is your talk. Third category is delivery. So tip number 8 is to memorize the talk. I know this is hard, and yet you will feel so much more confident on stage when you have gotten to the point of internalizing the message that you can deliver it from memory. Tip number 9 is to don't move around and talk at the same time. This one was really difficult for me to do. And yet I had to learn that it can be distracting for me to move and talk at the same time. So if you're going to move, then stop, and then talk. And tip number 10 is to use your body to illustrate your points. Think about how you can use your body to illustrate your message. In my talk, I move my body around quite a bit as I illustrate that gap between what we expect to get and what we actually get. I hope you found these 10 TEDx tips helpful for your public speaking and presentation skills. If you did, please do click like and share this video. Now, this was just a brief video explainer. You can find a more detailed version on curiositybase.com. I'm wishing you much speaking success.